What's up? What's up? What's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode Off the Schneid. We're Wednesday. Feels like it's been ages since I streamed, but we're back in action. It's only 6 days, but it feels like it's been longer. We'll say that. Life's been a little bit busy on the home front, work-wise, all kinds of stuff. So apologies for missing a couple streams, two to be exact. But life gets in the way. That's precisely why. And I get asked all the time. I'll say this: I get asked all the time and told to, why don't you monetize? Why don't you do memberships? Why don't you do this, that, and the other thing? This is precisely why I don't charge anything, and I probably would never charge anything or memberships or donations or anything like that, because I don't want to feel bad if I go a week or two without streaming, because real life is going to get in the way sometimes. So appreciate you guys popping in. Hit that like button if we're just getting going. We're going to just rip some drafts tonight. We're going to get some volume in. We're going to take a quick look at that. Let's say what's up to the chat first. We got Jeff T in here. What's up, man? Off the Schneid, but on the mark. Some people would disagree with you on that one, but I appreciate that. What's up, man? Stephen Hines in here. Yes, we are doing well in the Woodman household. Appreciate that. Who Hames is in here. What's up, man? Appreciate you. He was live earlier today, so shout out Who Hames. Fantasy Monster, QBs do matter this year, especially. Doc79 in here. What's up, man? Appreciate you. Ad Vincent, how's it going? I'm doing well. We got Omega King in here. What's up, man? How are you? Yeah, I'm doing well. Another reason I've been a little bit busy these days. Started playing hockey at 40 years old. Haven't stepped on ice in probably about 25 years at least, sort of thing. And we had my first real game of my entire life of hockey last night. And we won 5-4 in overtime. And your boy here picked off the overtime winner. So 2 goals, 1 assist, leading the team right now as in points, in goals and points. Shout out me. Let's go. So yeah, turns out the kid's good at hockey too. So yeah, it's super fun though. We're loving it. So hopefully it keeps going well. But you got to play hockey when you live up here. I felt like an imposter not being able to play hockey, but here we are. Now we're finally doing it. It only took 40 years of my life to get there. But cheers. Shout out a little Half Hitch Brewing Company out of Cochrane, Alberta. So shout out to those guys. Delicious beverage. So we're doing news in here. What's up, man? Appreciate you. Good to be back. Appreciate that. Does feel good. Feels good to get the win. Feels good to score a couple goals. Feels good. Started playing hockey when I was 5 and was done by age 18. Yeah, that's a lot of guys. I mean, get back into it. Man. You'll love it. It's a fun game. Fast, hard, but it's super, super fun. We're loving it. Me and the boys. You have more points in hockey than the Jets had in interceptions. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, just on the 1 assist, don't account the goals, I had more interceptions, right? So there you go. I do want to touch on just getting in some volume quick. What are we today? The 25th. I think the draft's on April 26th, the NFL draft, I believe, if memory serves me correctly. So we got about a month to go until the NFL draft, when all of these tournaments will close. The big board, it looks like, will absolutely fill. I have 37 remaining with about 20% left to fill. So I've kind of caught up to fill rate roughly. I'm still a little bit behind, but that's what we're going to be ripping today. The bigger board, I think, will fill about 25% left. I've got 1 bullet. Actually, I don't know if it will. $100 buy-in. I'm not sure if it will fill. I actually hope it doesn't, because then we'll get a little bit of overlay, which would be good. I have 1 more bullet in the bigger board, and I'll do that at some point, maybe on stream, but not tonight. And then the little board, I think that was a mistake making it a 20 max tournament. I think they should have kept it 50 and then maybe just don't do another little board 2, maybe do another war room 2, something like that. I have 3 bullets left in this thing, and I highly doubt it fills, even though it's a low entry point at only $3. Like, the sickos have already maxed it. I guarantee everybody in the chat probably has maxed the little board already. I've got 3 bullets left. I'm just trying to balance a few things out, but only 55% filled. I doubt it fills if I'm being honest with you, but let's jump right into a big board. 20-second clock. Obviously, we are in right now. Friends and family. We got 11 people waiting on 11. Friends and family, if you want to draft, jump in. I didn't quite expect it to be that low EV for me, but there's always a little bit of low EV when we're streaming, but everybody can get in. Let's get it going. I do want to focus on, again, I've been talking about this for a couple of weeks, but I do want to focus on evening out some exposures. So shout out Best Ball Overlay. Got the combination tool up. Draws the 1-2. You got to like that. That feels good. I don't get up there that often. So shout out Best Ball Overlay. Link in the description if you want to take a peek at that and balance your portfolio like I'm doing. Look at the top here. Bijan, Gibbs, and Puka Nacua, all 7.1%. That feels pretty good. I caught up on the Gibbs and Puka. I know you guys probably heard me bitching not that long ago about never getting the 2 or 3 spot. I had to take Gibbs at the 1, which was fine. That's a completely okay pick there, but got caught up on those. So that feels good. Evened it out. That feels really good at the top. CMC, I'm still a little low on 1.8%, but I do want to be a little bit behind the field. I'm soft fading McCaffrey, but I definitely don't want to be 0, and I don't want to be sub 2%. So I'd like to get that up to at least something like 4, but we'll see how that goes. In the draft, we got Thad on real time. I'm at the 2. Doc 79 at the 6. Lil Smo at the 7. We got Hartman at the 9. Green Bean at the 12. Kungo Sang, I feel like might be in here at the 11. Boom Shakalaka maybe at the 3. I'm not sure. Let's get a Bijan share here. I haven't clicked him in a while, so that feels good to get a share there. Get a different combination, hopefully. But let me know if you're in the chat and drafted, or just creep. Do your thing. Do what you want to do. Hartman's in here. What's up, man? Appreciate that. Appreciate you popping in here. If we can project similar target share, if not more, for Fannin, why does the community hate him at ADP and like Warren Moore when both have questionable QB play till DJ is healthy? I think the biggest reason why I'm 0% Fannin, 0% Fannin right now. I think number one, the tight end prices are cheap. They're very cheap as far as just tight end prices. Look at Kittle way down here, Sadiq, Ferguson. I like Gadsden a lot. Kelsey's super cheap. Likely Andrews is insanely cheap, right? So going down the list, and you can find names down here. Eli Stowers is a nice dart throw. He's my highest owned tight end. Kate Otten, I think, is a fine pick. Pat Fryermuth, I think, is a great click down here. So I just think overall tight end prices are extremely cheap. That plus Kevin Stefanski leaving, who, tight ends have always done well in Stefanski's schemes, including Fannin, realistically. So yes, Todd Monken coming in isn't necessarily a bad thing for tight ends, but obviously with the quarterback situation there, the offensive line took a massive hit, though I think they did a pretty good job at filling in the holes in free agency. I just think that his price is a little egregious. He was right there with Tyler Warren, and it's good that Warren's up now a full round ahead of Fannin. That I do agree with. But I still think his price is a little bit egregious if you asked me. Like Pitts being down here is a little ridiculous, being, a round and a half later than Fannin. I guess people that like Fannin are projecting, him to take a step forward, but I'm not that guy personally. I think they very, very possibly draft a wide receiver. Bond might take a step forward. Jerry Jeudy's still there. Dylan Sampson gets some targets. It's not going to be a high equity offense anyways. So I'm out on Fannin at cost. I don't think it's a good price for him. Green Bean's got 2 left of the big board. Dang, you're almost wrapped up. That's fair. I have 1 little board left because they canceled draft on me. There you go. Get a little new draft, new information in there. Stream snipes galore, 100%. I'm just gonna have to take the best player available. Lil Simo's in here. What's up, man? Appreciate you. 3 spot Dog Vision is Johnny Cash BP, right? Nope. Boom shakalaka. Yeah, I knew I had a feeling that name would be in here. So appreciate you coming in drafting with me. What if we projected Judy being traded away as well? He's way too high. Agreed. In the late tight end value is key to winning, in my opinion, this year. I mean, that would be. There's a lot of ifs in that conversation with Jerry Judy. I don't think anyone's clamoring to be trading for Jerry Judy right now. Realistically, the guy hasn't really proven much that he can, really be too functional in this league. Realistically, outside of this 1 year of getting 145 targets, he's never even sniffed close to that in any other season. Only 4 touchdowns as well when that happened. I'm not a Jerry Judy fan or believer in any way, shape, or form. So, I mean, yeah, if he's gone, that would definitely help get some volume and some more targets towards Harold Fannin. But I mean, I just don't think anybody's trading for Jerry Judy realistically. Like, where's the value there? What are you kind of getting out of him realistically? I guess we have to go with Brock Bowers here, is the way I'm going to go. I think he's an absolute smash click right where he's going on the turn. Not very unique at all getting Bijan Bowers. That's quite ununique. But I don't have Bowers with any of these guys. That's wild. How's that even possible? 45% with Bucky. Jeez, crazy. I'm going to take Breeze Hall here, though. Am I? Let's take Etienne. I'd rather take Etienne, and I don't have him paired with Bowers, obviously. I do with Bijan, but I want to get a little more Etienne in my life. Really good landing spot, I think. So let's get Etienne in there. Yeah, the price is awfully high. Agreed. Thanks for answering. Of course, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate the question. 2 little boards left. This is diabolical board 100 for the big board. Big board 100. There you go. Bindle's in the house. What's up, man? Appreciate you. NFC South is the skeleton key. I do like a lot of Bucks. I like a lot of Bucks. I like some Saints. I like Tedero McMillan. Yeah, I could see that. I like Drake London. I like Bijan. Obviously, you're referencing ETN with Bijan. I have a lot of Bijan with Bucky as well, and I think with ETN potentially. So I'm bought in on that. I don't mind that take. Not giving Stefanski credit for coaching the most productive tight end in college history. I'm not. I just said that Kevin Stefanski leaving Cleveland hurts Fannin, I think, a good amount. Again, Monken isn't exactly like a fall off as far as tight ends production can be concerned. It's not, but I think Stefanski's fantastic. I really do. I think he's a fantastic. I don't think he should have been fired. If I'm the Browns, I don't fire Kevin Stefanski. I fire Matthew Berry, who still has a job somehow, but I don't fire Kevin Stefanski personally. But wins Coach of the Year twice, and then they let him go because they made some horrible personnel decisions. Interesting strategy. Good get for the Atlanta Falcons. I'll say that. And potentially Kyle Pitts. Where am I at on Kyle Pitts? Let's take a look at that. I haven't drafted him in a little while. 4.4%. Not that I'll take him on this team with Bijan, obviously, but I don't think it makes sense to do that. Though it's fine. It's fine if you do that. But I don't know if I'll do that on this team with Bowers. I don't think I'll be taking another tight end that early. So we'll see. It's another beautiful thing about taking Brock Bowers is you can just punt tight end till the very end of the draft, which feels pretty good. Jamison Williams could be the click. Devontae Smith could be the click. My first wide receiver, I'll take Terry over Devonta Smith, though that does get a little bit unique with Devonta. But in this case, him being my number one wide receiver, I'd rather McLaurin over Devonta Smith as far as my number one wide receiver. I need more production, and I think I can get more out of McLaurin. And he's just a smash in the fourth round, anywhere in the fourth round. My 26% will agree with me on that. Finally, a real football analyst. Appreciate that. Again, there's people out there that would absolutely disagree with you on that one, but I appreciate that. I appreciate that. We'll definitely take Devonta here. Let's say that. That's for sure. That's a no-brainer. Let's do that. And that's definitely unique to get him in the fifth. That feels good. Boogie, what's up, man? Appreciate you, though. Appreciate you popping in. Thoughts on HN after Waddle trade? Where are you taking him now? I mean, I'm not so sure that that's a good thing. Like, I still want to get my shares of HN for sure, but he's the only gig in town now. He's the only talent on that team. Do they draft someone? Probably. Like, I think Jordan Tyson would make a lot of sense for them in the first round. I think any of the big three, any of them that are there. If Malachi or if Lemon is there, if Mekhi Lemon is there, that makes sense. If Jordan Tyson is there, that makes sense. If I don't think Carnell Tate will be there for them, but yeah, I think Tate's probably wide receiver one in the draft, probably. But either Lemon or Tyson, I think makes sense for the Dolphins, and then that helps. But still, like, is a rookie really going to come in and take that much heat off of HN? I think it's going to be tough for him to really succeed. He's just enough of a freak that, yes, I will take him. But to be honest, like, I move him down. He's past, like, he's below Genty, he's below Hampton, he's below Barkley, he's below Love. I probably take him ahead of Kenny Walker still. Honestly, it's tough to take him over Derrick Henry just for like the set it and forget it kind of production. You're pretty confident you're going to get out of Derrick Henry. But I mean, I get it with his ADP. There's a huge difference there. Like, I'm taking probably Drake London over HN. I'm just not sure that it's a good thing with a running quarterback too. I'm just not sure it's a good thing for HN with Waddle gone now. Like, having some support is actually can make a talented player more productive sometimes. So Devontae Big Riser post AJ Brown trade. Yeah. I mean, he probably, I don't know if he gets traded or not. I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't have a firm take on AJ Brown getting traded or not. I think it would be the best thing for both AJ Brown and the Eagles, to be honest, if they trade AJ Brown, but I'm not so sure it's going to happen. To be honest, like, it's not a good football move. If we're being real about it, it's not a good football move, but this isn't a video game and he's obviously not happy. So release him, let him go. Not release him, like trade him, but let him go. You'll get good capital. Like, if Waddle got a first and a first and a third with a 4 swap, right? He's not getting a first and a third for AJ Brown, just age differential, but you could probably get a first, we'll say. Maybe a second. I think a second would make some sense. And then like maybe a 4th pick swap or something like that. Let's make this pick. I think we got to go Drake May here. By that, I mean Parker Washington. Let's go Parker Washington first. I think he's an absolute smash click. I'm up to about just under 18%, 17.7, I think, percent Parker Washington. I think he's an absolute smash there. I will take Drake May over Caleb. I want to even out that exposure a little bit. And I don't feel like I have to take any Patriots whatsoever. Yeah, let's do that. Let's take Drake May. Less about exposure, more about structure right now. Any Evans interest? I have 0% Mike Evans. I'm not drafting Mike Evans, especially now that he's risen up the board a little bit. Maybe I should have got a few clicks when he was going a little bit cheaper, because he's not a 4 or 5 turn guy for me personally. I'm not too many soft tissue injuries, a little bit too old for my liking. I see a lot of Julio Jones vibes for Mike Evans. I'm just not doing it. I'm not doing it. 55% Flacco feels good now that he's backing up Joe Burrow, who can't stay healthy. Come on, man. Come on, man. Didn't need to say that. Didn't need to say that. I'm not drafting any Joe Flacco, I'll tell you that. But we don't need that juju around here. Steven, all right. I'm scared to fade Achane, but the RB on a team with no wide receiver, no defense, and unproven QB feels like a bad bet. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like it's not. I'm not fading him either, and I can't. You can't just fade him. He's just too talented, and the game breaking everything that he offers. I'm 6.2% Achane, and that feels okay. I'll probably be around there. You just can't fade him. He's just too talented, and he can score from anywhere on the field. Any touch, he can score. And he catches a lot of balls, so that helps. So, yeah, I mean, mind you, again, rushing quarterback. Is he going to be dumping off to Achane too much? Can Slowick scheme him open like Mike McDaniel could and did? I don't know, but I'm definitely going to be below the field on Achane, 5-6%, roughly where I'm at right now, sort of thing. But I think a full fade would be a little silly. But I'm happy with where I'm at personally. Bindles thinks it's a bad thing too. Yeah, I think it's really not very good for him to just be the only talent on that team. Definitely a lot of players are better with some support, Don't think it's traded now. Are we talking about AJ Brown? If he does, it'll be June 1 is when they'll trade him. Yeah, this is exactly why we can't fade him. Out of 150 drafts or so, I've only clicked Achane a handful of times. Dolphins feel like a major dumpster fire. Don't blame you for that. I don't blame you. Like I said, I'll be below the field, but I can't just fully fade him. That's for sure. He's happy they signed Elijah Moore. Yeah, and Hollywood Brown. Another Brown and Elijah Moore. All right, where are we going with this? I don't really care about my exposures right this second here. I was really hoping for one of those kind of quarterbacks to fall back to me, Bo Nix, Dart, whatever. I think Michael Pittman's still a very good click right here. Very, very good click in Pittsburgh. I'm not going to say he's like the alpha, per se, but I think he becomes the target hog in that offense, and you just never know with DK Metcalf. So you never know what the hell that guy's going to do or say, or who he's going to hit. I've gotten my Pollard up to 6%. That's fun. That's fine. I think I want to push quarterback. I don't think it's super necessary that I take any of these guys. Does Corum make sense? I just feel like Jadarian Price has kind of been rising. And I'm pretty confident you heard it here first. Definitely before Jeremiah put in his last mock draft, I said that Jadarian Price is sneaky to go to the Seattle Seahawks at 32. Do I think they do it? I don't know, maybe. But I put that out there before Daniel Jeremiah's mock draft came out, so that felt pretty cool to see that right after I say it. So we'll see. I just think he's kind of rising right now as far as draft circles are concerned. I think he's no later than a second round pick. So give me the upside of him going to somewhere like Seattle, Najee Harris, another guy that we're way overexposed to, which is fine. 25% Najee, visiting with the Raiders and the Seahawks. Either one's a good landing spot for Najee. So Definitely some value down there still. Yeah, definitely that. Elijah Moore looked okay as a rookie, but that was what, 5 years ago. So definitely no negative Burrow talk in this channel. None of that. Meg's in here. How you doing, Meg? Appreciate you coming in. Hope you're having a good night. If I was doing limited volume, I'd full fade HN, I think. Yeah, I think in higher dollar buy-ins. Let's see what I'm at on HN in the bigger board. I doubt I've drafted him. I have not. So I would tend to agree with that, just as far as if I'm drafting higher stakes. That's where you see, and I think everyone would agree on this one. That's where you see where people really are on XYZ player. How high are you really? Let's do a bigger board, and that'll tell me how high you really are on this player. Oh, are they? Oh yeah, Mississippi State or Ole Miss. Sorry, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Ole Miss, right? Yeah, a lot of great landing spots for RBs, rookie RBs. I just think that there's still some value with some of these rookie RBs. Like Katron Allen's falling. I don't really understand that. I'm 40% Katron Allen. I don't really understand him falling. I think he with a reasonable landing spot, honestly, even somewhere like Houston or not necessarily Detroit anymore with Pacheco, but before Pacheco went there, I was calling for Detroit, Seattle, obviously, the Raiders, obviously. But yeah, I think there's some landing spots and they're going pretty cheap, some of them. If Jadarian Price is like head and shoulders the RB2 in this class, which a lot of people say he is, I'm not going to disagree or fight you on that. But he should be higher than he is if that's the case. I think Tyler Shuck makes sense. I'm only 3%. Let's do that. Tyler Shuck makes sense here with Etienne. Etienne. Travis Etienne, not HN. That makes some sense. Mendoza looks like he's falling. Wow. Interesting. Do I push QB? I think I can get away with it if it makes sense. Does it make sense to take any of these guys? These guys. I don't necessarily think it does. Let's just take Malik Willis and be done at quarterback. I guess I could have taken Sadiq. That would have been fun with Brock Bowers. That's probably more prudent. I probably should have went with a tight end there. Sadiq. Jaden Higgins, sure. I have too much Jennings, and he's just obviously continuing to ask for too much money, and no one's willing to pay it. But he will find a landing spot at some point. It'll be enough money. I definitely like him to get on the field. That's for sure, regardless of where he goes. But yeah, I would like for him to sign sooner than later. Packers, yeah, they're going to draft a running back too. I agree with that 100%. Pacheco could easily be replaced by a guy like Katron Allen, especially. So I definitely agree with those two takes. People are sleeping on Fat Man. Is that Najee? Who's Fat Man? It's fun to see him 0%. Yeah, that's good. Jennings to Baltimore, that makes some sense. Yeah, I could see that. They're definitely not paying him what he's asking, though. So we'll see. Oh, that's Katron's nickname? I didn't know that. Fat Man is Katron Allen's nickname? I did not know that. Yeah, I think they're sleeping on him too. He's falling. It's wild. It's wild that he's falling. I don't understand it. I just keep clicking him. 40%. I'll click him every time down there, every time. I like the Jennings of Baltimore. That can make some sense. I'd rather go that route if I'm Baltimore Ravens than Stephon Diggs. So I think that makes a lot of sense. I think that would really help Zay Flowers. So yeah, his nickname is Eddie Lacy. Cheeseburger Eddie. I liked Cheeseburger Eddie for a couple of years there, man. He was pretty good till he started eating too many cheeseburgers. Cheeseburger Eddie Lacy. He was up to like 300 bills or something like that. That's wild. Puka is emo. Throw some eyeliner on him. He look pretty emo. All right, I'm glad I took quarterbacks there. I would have been stuck with Mendoza, which would be fine, but I really wanted Cam Ward or maybe like Bryce Young to fall back to me. So I'm glad I took Malik Willis because I had a feeling those QBs would kind of rattle off, especially, I mean, maybe Malik Willis being taken where I took him. Not, mind you, it's right at ADP, but maybe that kind of influenced it. Hard to say. Hard to say there. Chris Rodriguez would have been on my menu for sure. Let's do Omar Cooper. He just continues to rise. I'm 23%. Most of it is cheaper than that. So let's do Omar Cooper. Definitely done at quarterback, so we can just get rid of that. Likely goes, he might have been on my menu. Rashid Shaheed's fine. Diggs is fine. I'm just going to take Mark Andrews here. He's just such a good value. And I can be really comfortable with those two tight ends. Really, really, really comfortable. It's easy to feel comfortable with Brock Bowers and anyone realistically, but Brock Bowers, Mark Andrews is very strong. We're done at tight end as well, so we can just kind of fill out our roster from there. That feels pretty good. That was, I almost had a goddamn aneurysm watching Joe Burrow run around like that. That was not something I wanted to see. I have a feeling Joe Burrow got a phone call after that, and that's the last time that'll happen. So that was wild to see. Am I still fully convinced Lemons is wide receiver one? I mean, in my rankings, yes. In my rankings, yes. He is still the wide receiver one for me. Does that mean the NFL agrees with me? I doubt it. It seems to be that a lot of the NFL media right now is just trying to bury Mekhi Lemon right now and prop up Chris Brazzell, which is very interesting. So Chris Brazzell is a top 5 wide receiver, but Mekhi Lemon is not. I didn't think I'd live in that world, but here we are. That's the timeline we're in. Yeah, I'm not changing anything. Nothing changed for me. Why? What has happened that would make me change Mekhi Lemon being wide receiver one from the combine? Nothing. So he's definitely still wide receiver one for me. Do I think he's the highest ceiling? No, I think that's Jordan Tyson. I think it's the same. It's this is what I've been saying for the entire draft cycle. I think Carnell Tate is the safest. Jordan Tyson has the highest ceiling, but overall, Mekhi Lemon is the wide receiver one. Which maybe that none of that makes sense, but that's just how I feel about it. It'll all come down to opportunity, is what it'll all come down to. But nothing's changed for me. Nothing's changed. I'm not going to change rankings because of chatter, especially right now. The Twitter machine is out of control right now, out of control. So this is the time of the draft cycle when it just gets fucking insane. So I try to not really pay attention to anything, if I'm being honest with you, right now in the NFL draft news cycle sort of thing, because it's just absolute fucking nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Let's go with the Dylan Sampson. I'm trying to get a little more of Sampson. I think he's a way, way better click at cost than Quinshon Judkins. That's for sure. I don't mind Tajay. He could be worth clicking here. It's never Charbonnet ever for me. I do like I don't mind Ridley. I'm trying to get a little more Ridley now that he's pretty much guaranteed to be back with the Titans. They're much, much more likely to draft Jeremiah Love than a wide receiver, I think, at 4. Let's just do Tajay because I have enough Adonai Mitchell. 7.1% Adonai Mitchell. I'm trying to be there, right around there, maybe a little more, up to 9% or so Adonai. I think he's a good click now that we know Geno Smith is the quarterback there. And yeah, I think he's got some value where he's going. A couple O-line out of Fair State stand out to me. Twins at right guard and right tackle put up 35 on the bench and lineman of the year award worth a look. Huh, Fair State. Okay. I'll have to dig into that a little bit. Twins, eh? Twins, Basil. Right guard and right tackle. Get that whole right side of your line using one brain. I like that. I don't mind that. That'd be fun if they went to the same NFL team, actually. That'd be really fun. Lemon had the best reception perception too. He's so sick. I mean, I do think that that's something worth looking at, the reception perception. I'm not so sure it's like the be all end all. But if it works in my favor, I'll take it. I'll take it. But I just think he's the best overall wide receiver in this class. And I honestly, like I said then, I'll say it now again. I don't think it's particularly close. I really don't. Though again, the ceiling is higher for Tyson. I will agree with that. It's just the injury concerns are there, and they are a real thing with Jordan Tyson, including right now where I don't know if he'd be able to pass a physical. So it's an issue for him. So, and then Tate, I think you just know what you're getting, but I don't think there's anything like necessarily untapped there. So yeah, I honestly don't think it's particularly close. I think it's Mekhi Lemon for sure. And then I think I have it Tate Tyson. I can't remember. We can look, but I don't disagree with the last statement there. Choose your destiny. I don't disagree with that. No, I'm not changing anything. Like I don't think there's a need to look again. I watch the tape. I dig into who the person is, who the player is, his history, his high school history, stuff like that. Especially watching the tape is the biggest thing for me, and I know that's the biggest thing for NFL franchises. And then the combine, which he didn't do, but his pro day, yes. I mean, he looked a little stiff running the 40. I'm not too concerned about it, honestly. So, yeah, nothing has come up outside of some awkward interviews. Nothing has come up that's made me want to change that. AD Mitchell stat approved. Nice. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know about Adonai Mitchell. Travis Hunter was also rated super highly by reception perception. That cost people money and will again this year, most likely drafting defensive backs at wide receiver. I'm not really drafting much of Travis Hunter unless he like really falls into my lap. I might take a share or two here and there, but I'm really not focusing whatsoever on him. This is just where I take Katron Allen every time. Like who are we taking over Katron? I don't really understand. I just don't understand. So we'll take another Katron Allen share. And then I'm feeling good about this wide receiver. Jesus, this running back room. We're rusty, people. I haven't streamed in 5 days. I feel really good about this running back room. This is just every time I'm clicking Katron Allen. So, right or wrong, every single time I'm taking Katron Allen. Trey Benson's really falling, which he should be. I have one share for some reason, probably an auto pick or something like that. I don't really know. I don't really recall taking Trey Benson. And then it's just always Jeremy Bernard here. Falling below 70%. What is that blasphemy? Can't have that. There's no way he gets back to me in this room. That's for sure. So we're taking Jeremy Bernard right here. It's always Jeremy Bernard in the 17th. I have so much of Cooper with Bernard. It's probably sickening, honestly, because they were both going around here 16th and 17th round. Omar Cooper is obviously flown up the board, but Jeremy Bernard still goes there. So I've been, 23% Cooper, 70% Jeremy Bernard. They're going to be paired up a lot, which I'm perfectly fine with. Yeah, I mean, supposedly that hamstring is still hampering him, which is definitely not a good look. So, yeah, we'll see. He might fall a little bit in the draft. I wouldn't be shocked whatsoever if he's in the 20s, like the mid to late 20s for Jordan Tyson. We'll see. I have a lemon at 76 team when his ADP was 59. That should make you proud. Nice click. That does make me. That's a good one. That's unique. That's got to feel good. He was definitely falling for a little bit there, but he's kind of like leveled out. In the mid 60s, early to mid 60s, something like that. He's kind of leveled out. So good click at friggin' 76. That's for damn sure. This is kind of true. Was heating up before he got hurt. Reception is never wrong. I'm not going to say they're never wrong, but he was heating up before he got hurt. That's for sure. And then we saw Parker Washington, my boy, really kind of take off after that. So I just think they've come out and said that they're going to play him more on defense, and they came out and said it early. So that's like, I think that says a lot that they come out and say, hey, we're going to play him more on defense. And they've really kind of that means they've bought into it. Now he has the full offseason program to go through on defense. I do think he has some value on offense, but I'm just not clicking on where he's going. Like 13th round is not really for me personally. I've taken him a couple times when he's really fallen. But beyond that, I just can't really get behind the Travis Hunter click personally. If you like it, you like it. I just don't personally myself. Could do Kyle Williams here with Drake May. Definitely not necessary in any way, shape, or form. There goes Najee Harris. That's a good click there. I think it does make sense to take Kyle Williams, I guess. I like him. I want to be around where I'm at, 10%. Something like that. Let's do Kyle Williams. I don't want another rookie, though I think one more would be fine. I'm going to take 2 more wide receivers, so I could definitely mix in a rookie. Yeah, I can definitely mix in a rookie, and I probably will. But I'd like to take a vet again. Yeah, my last click will be a rookie, a 7 wide receiver room. I like to take a kind of one-off rookie that I don't have a huge amount of exposure to. I don't know who that'll be yet. If Jacoby Lane's there, I'll take Jacoby Lane. I'm gonna go with Tyquan Thornton. I want to be at about 10%. I'm at 8. And I find it hard to believe that the Chiefs take a wide receiver in the first couple rounds of this draft. They got a lot of holes to fill, more than you would think. Take a look at their depth chart and roster, and I just really don't think they're going to throw, that kind of draft capital on the offensive side of the ball. unless it's on the offensive line. I just have a hard time seeing that personally. It's possible. Don't get me wrong. It definitely is. They're bringing in Lemon. They're bringing in Tate, I think, for visits, but of course they're going to do some due diligence. But like I talked about with Steve and I talked about this on when we did a big breakdown of the combine. I don't think any of these wide receivers, Mekhi Lemon, Tate, or Tyson, I don't think any of them are can't miss, have to have prospects. I think if you argue with me, I would say you're wrong. I would say outright, like, I think you're wrong. I don't think any of these wide receivers are can't miss, gotta have prospects. So I don't think the Chiefs are going to say we can't go on offense without this wide receiver in our lineup. I just don't see that player. And it's a pretty deep wide receiver class just as far as like quality players. So I think Taekwon's a good click down here. I really do. They re-signed him, brought him back, paid him a little bit. Dynasty is a rough game. Playing grass is greener for sure. Trey Benson never been good. Yeah, I mean, I liked him as a rookie, and I liked him his second year too. Now he's dead to me, basically. I just am not clicking Trey Benson. Not happening. Get down with the sickness. Yeah, I'm not here like defending reception perception, that's for sure. But it is a valuable tool, I suppose. If they traded BTJ, I would say they're going to have a place on offense, but they have Parker, Myers, and BTJ. Yeah, I think it's tough. I agree with that. If they traded Brian Thomas, I don't think they do, but if they did, then that would definitely open up some looks for Travis Hunter. So if that happens, then I guess I'll get some clicks over the summer, but I just don't think it'll happen. Yeah, I don't think it's pretty bad business to trade a former first-round wide receiver in a rookie contract. Right in the middle of his rookie contract, it's pretty bad business if you ask me. It'd be a pretty poor look. So I'd be pretty surprised if they did, but not out of the question, I should say. Reception perception's never wrong. May go to the Titans after 55 sacks on Ward's O-line may be the priority. What do you think? Yeah, it could be. They brought in, who did they bring in? Oh, God. It's escaping me in my old age. Cordell Volson. And then that's right. The center from the Giants came over with Dable. Latham, Dan Moore still there. Peter Skronsky. I mean, it could be, but like, who do they draft that immediately kicks one of those guys out? They could, obviously they would if they draft him 4th overall. Let's finish this click here and then we'll finish this conversation. Let's bring in Skylar Bell. I haven't clicked him in a while. 8.8. I want to be around 10. Let's bring in Skylar Bell. He's one of my guys. So let's bring him in. So yeah, like, are they drafting a left tackle when they just paid Dan Moore? Are they drafting a right tackle when they just took JC Latham in the first round? Are they drafting a left guard when Peter Skronsky was in the first round? None of those are happening realistically. Right guard or center, are you taking that a 4th overall? Not a chance in this world. So it just doesn't realistically make sense for the Titans to take an offensive lineman at 4th overall. It really doesn't make sense. I do think that could be on the table in the 2nd round, 3rd round, sure, but definitely not at 4th overall. I really, really do not think that they take an offensive lineman. I'd be very, very surprised by that personally. I think they put in I know they put in a lot of work on the defensive side of the ball. But you can never have too many pass rushers. And I think that could be something that's definitely on the menu for them. I think Jeremiah Love, I think possibly a wide receiver, though I wouldn't go that route at 4th overall in this wide receiver class. Honestly, I haven't put in a crazy amount of work yet on my mock draft, but just looking at the depth chart, I'm probably taking a pass rusher to pair up with Jermaine Johnson, who's not a game breaker pass rusher in his own right. So I think pass rusher would be a prudent selection for the Titans. at 4th overall in a good class where there's lots of talent up there. So, but who knows? I haven't dug into it yet. KC has a massive hole wide receiver, in my opinion, but for sure need tackle the most. Yeah, they do. But again, there's talent. And do you, Ames, as a Chiefs fan, as the resident Chiefs fan, do you think that any of those top 3 wide receivers are so can't miss that you won't be happy unless you leave the draft with one of them at 9th overall? As a Chiefs fan, would you say that any of those wide receivers you have to have, and this offense won't be able to function without this wide receiver? That's like the conversation I want to have about that pick for the Chiefs. Remember, everyone was saying Marvin Harrison was a can't miss. Got to have prospect. Yeah, that's not like it turned out well. I mean, it was a bad landing spot for me with Kyler. So I think Marv is that guy. I really do. And I think we're going to see him take a step forward if it's anyone but Kyler Murray throwing him the ball this year. So we'll see. I'm trying to get definitely a little bit more Marvin Harrison myself. I think he is that good. It's just the QB situation was awful in Arizona, in my opinion. I also remember Trent Richardson can't miss. Got to have prospect. Things change quickly. Yeah, they do. So Jeff, are you saying that those 3 wide receivers are can't miss, got to have prospects? I'm saying they're not. Are you saying that they are? Is that what's the conversation we're having here? Just out of curiosity. Hunter is injured away from, which is a weird bet to make. Definitely for wide receivers, it's a weird bet, I think. And the RBs get targets and strange T-Law, rushing touchdowns, bad situation. Fair. Unknown. No, but I also think if Bain, Bailey, Downs, Reese, Styles are all gone, it's wide open. I think Tate is best prospect outside of my blue chip players. Fair enough, but you're not taking an offensive lineman there? You're not taking a tackle at 9? You're taking Tate. Sorry, I'll phrase it this way. You're taking Carnell Tate over an offensive lineman, offensive tackle at 9 overall. I just brought up the term because you mentioned it, mainly just scrolling down. Fair enough. We're not going to go through every team. There's a lot of guys in the draft. I appreciate you guys drafting. We're going to rip one more draft here, but let's go through this one quick. 3692, Drake May, Shuck, and Willis. That'll work for me. Bijan, Etienne, Price, Sampson, Spears, Katron Allen. Good enough for me. I'm happy with that. McLaurin, Devonta Smith, Parker Washington, Pittman, Cooper, Bernard, Williams, Thornton, Bell. That's actually really strong considering I didn't take a wide receiver until the 4th round. That feels really strong to me. I got 2 4th-round wide receivers with Devonta Smith and Terry McLaurin, so that makes up for it a ton. I think there's still tons of value with Parker Washington and Pittman, to be honest with you. A couple high value, in my opinion, rookie wide receivers. And then Williams, Thornton, just 2 kind of one play, get in the end zone, crack the roster kind of guys. Skylar Bell I like as well. That's a fun wide receiver room, I think, when we're not clicking one till the 4th round. Bowers and Andrews, super strong. I like this team a lot. I like this team quite a bit. This is really fun. This is a really fun team. But we'll see where she goes. We're going to jump into another big board. 20-second clock. We are in. Waiting on 3. I would prefer Monroe Freeling, but I'm happy with Tate. Also don't want corner Sadiq. That's all I care about. I don't think Sadiq makes any sense to the Chiefs. I really don't. I know there's a lot of people putting that out there. I think that's a lot of like wish casting type stuff of people just wanting to see, Mahomes with Sadiq sort of thing, or another weapon. I really don't think that makes a lot of sense personally. I've been kind of sitting on this one, but I would really love Kenyon Sadiq to my Bengals at 10. I think that makes a lot of sense. So I'm really hoping I got to connect some dots on that one. I haven't dug into, visits and figure out who's talked to who. I haven't done a crazy amount of work on my mock draft yet. But that's something I'm gonna really think about is Kenyon Sadiq to my Bengals at 10. I think that makes tons of sense. I really, really do. Tate to KC, yes, Tate over everything. It absolutely doesn't make any sense for Sadiq. Yeah, I just don't don't see it. There's a lot of people like the Rams and Sadiq, I think makes 0 sense. The Chiefs and Sadiq, I think makes 0 sense. Again, I really like my Bengals for Kenyon Sadiq. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think that's something that we're missing in the offense right now. Kind of a big slot tight end, can kind of do everything as that you need out of a tight end. Freak athlete. I'm happy with that. Those Sonny Styles would be pretty hard to pass up on as well. So I'm kind of hoping that one of those two are gone before 10. Because either one, Sonny Styles and Kenyon Sadiq are the two that I want right now at 10 as a Bengals fan. I think they make the most sense at 10 as a Bengals fan. They're both realistic at 10 as a Bengals fan. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes and what happens. But wow, McCaffrey gets pulled up there. Puka Nacua going at 6 would be like stealing. So that must be nice. Bash Barty, definitely a good drafter, doesn't necessarily need any fucking help like that. Jefferson, it feels good to get, JSN at 7, I suppose. So we'll take him. That's an easy click. But Christian McCaffrey and Jefferson get pulled up into the top 5. Puka gets pushed to 6 is like candy from a baby. That's interesting. I'm even happy to get JSN at 7. That's pretty fun. Doesn't fall that far, and it's not much of a fall very often. Kungo-san at the 12 spot, I think maybe is in the draft in the chat. Is that it? Is that it that's in the chat in the draft? Crazy. Sadiq to Bengals does make sense, but I have not seen that in any mock draft. The earliest I've seen Sadiq mocked is 11 to the Dolphins. Honestly, I don't really care about mock drafts. I hate mock drafts, even though I make one mock draft. One. Every year I do one mock draft that I make public. One single mock draft. And I think that's the way you should do it. If you're really like, tell me what you really believe. You know what I mean? Do I just take Trey McBride, get a little more right at ADP? I'd rather he fell a little bit, but I'm only 1.8%. I don't have him paired up with JSN, obviously. Let's take McBride, take a share there. So I'm not too worried about that, if I'm being honest, that he's not, it hasn't popped up in a mock draft. I really am not too worried about that. Bengals only have 4 visits listed on Walter Football. 1 is a tight end, not Sadiq, though. I don't love Walter Football. It's not super accurate. I use another one, NFL Draft Rumors or something like that, I think it's called. I can't remember. I have it in my mock draft episodes. I show where it is. So you can, if you want to watch last year's mock draft episode, I do pull it up on there, I believe. If not, I will be doing it this year when I pull it up. The Bengals don't do a crazy amount of visits. At least they're not public. So that's the other thing is like not all these 30 visits are public. Every team gets 30. Do you know all 30 visits of all these teams? I don't. I don't know. So yeah, a lot of them aren't public or we just don't exactly know about. So, and did they meet at the combine? Sometimes these NFL teams will play close to the chest, very close to the chest. They'll talk to them at the combine, and that's about it. Maybe they'll show up to the pro day or send like a tight end coach, in this case, a tight end coach to the pro day. Something like that doesn't seem that serious when other teams have their GMs, head coaches, all that kind of stuff. They're taking them out for dinner, whatever. But they're just not trying to give anything away. So I had JSN to Off the Schneid at 7 in my mock draft. Nailed it. You nailed it, man. Man, having CMC at 4 to Lofty 04 over here. That was a real good pick by Jeff right there. ETN, I wouldn't have minded there. I'm probably going to buy into a bit of a, now I definitely am. That's an easy decision. A bit of a 0 RB kind of a build. I do want some of this in my portfolio, and it's always Tet here. over any of the rest of these wide receivers. Though, I mean, Garrett Wilson, McConkey, Egbuka, even McLaurin could end up being better clicks than McMillan, possibly. But right here, they obviously go a bunch later. You can get them both. So, yeah, I think Tet is the highest upside in this wide receiver range for me. Come on, baby, turn the lights off is 12. That's who that is. I knew that name. I love mock drafts, but treat as an exercise more than something serious. Yeah, fair enough. Like, I mean, what I look for is like, are they picking the same position or like close to it? Or is it just positions that I think the team needs? So I go through and I figure out what I think the team needs are, the top 5 team needs. What do I think they need? And then does that jive with whatever the mock draft is saying? And then I kind of take it from there. So I agree with that. Use it as an exercise, and I always just look at my own stuff to kind of overlay onto it and see if it makes sense to me. Because if it doesn't make sense to me, then I can't get on board with it. If I'm being honest, like that might be a little bit, silly of me to say, thinking I'm all that and a bag of potato chips, but that's just what it is. If it doesn't make sense to me, then I'm not kind of doing it. Let's do Bucky. I have so much Bucky. Wow, 50% Bucky with okay. I only have like 2 clicks of McBride, so that's okay. Let's do that. I don't mind the Bucky click there. 7 picks at ADP value. I'll take that. I'll take Bucky. I would have taken another wide receiver over Javonte Williams there, though. Definitely would have been McLaurin or Waddle, Burden maybe. But with Bucky being there at a discount, give me Bucky. I won't lie. I do check. I do cross reference and check Walter Football as well, but I use a different site personally, which it links the Twitter post as well and who posted it. So I can do more digging than just taking Walter Football's word for it. It's the players or agents that release top 30 visit. Teams are not required to release that info. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't get in that information. So who knows? Just because it's like I said, and Jeff's saying here is like, just because it's not made public that there was a visit doesn't mean there wasn't a visit. So it's NFL rumors you use. I think I bookmarked it last year. Yeah, that's it. NFL draft rumors or NFL rumors or something like that. It's a great resource. Great resource. I want to get a 0 RB team. There's some good later RB still. I'm trying to mix it in. I did one the other day that was super 0 RB, but I'll take this value on these RBs. I will definitely take Bucky at 7 picks and Henderson at 7 picks. I'll definitely do that. So this is no longer a 0 RB. It was looking like it with 0 running backs through the first 3 rounds. So not till the 4th. Oh, big sneeze. Waiting on another to get the over. Did you bet the over on sneezes? 1.5? So far, only 1. I'm trying to mix in 0 RBs myself. I really am. I'm trying to zag when others are zigging, kind of thing. Like, no one's doing 0 RB realistically right now. Maybe a few people here or there, but I've been saying all along, you got to mix in every type of format into your portfolio. That's the reason we build a portfolio. That's the reason you draft 150 teams in a contest, so you can get some different, structures, and you should get a little bit of all structures, I think. So. But again, if it doesn't make sense, don't force it. Like this, it made sense for me to click those running backs there. So I'm going to do it. Just if it makes sense, if it feels good, do it. But back to the top 30s, even with limited knowledge, teams on average do a top 30 visit with half the first round picks. Exactly. So I don't look at that as like the be all end all. there's more to it than that too. Like, did they go to the pro day? Who'd they send to the pro day? All kinds of stuff that I look into. And again, does it fit a need in my eyes? Does it fit a need that they're looking for? All kinds of things I consider when we're talking about who I think they're gonna pick. I actually think my mock drafts have been pretty good lately. Last couple of years, I've gotten a couple second round picks in the first round, like John Michael Schmitz to the Giants. I had them pick him in the first round. They got him in the second round. Last year, Nick Emanware to the Seahawks. I had them picking him in the first round. They got him in the second, which is such good value for both of those players, to be honest with you. But either way, we're definitely just going to go Jaden Daniels here. I think he's possibly the number 2 quarterback in this year at a discount too. Let's do that. I'm very high on Jaden Daniels this year, personally. 4-pick discount, just getting discounts kind of last 3 picks. And even with JSN, little discount there. So that feels pretty fun. Gab's in the house. What's up, ODS? Came in to see who's rising in misinformation season. Smash the like. Yeah, hit the like button if you don't mind, guys. 49, 50 people watching. Hit that like button for me if you don't mind. If you're new to the channel, you like the content, hit the subscribe button. We'll be ripping drafts as much as I can, 3 days a week. Missed 2 in a row, but that might happen in life, but it's free. I'm not going to charge anyone anything ever to do this. So unless I get like, I don't know. I'm not going to say never. Never say never, but not anytime soon. I'll tell you that much. Javonte in the 40 is robbery. I don't think in the 40s is robbery. 47 is a good, some good value. I'll say that. But give me Bucky over Javonte. If Bucky wasn't there, I would have taken another wide receiver, like I said, over Javonte personally. I actually am a little lower than consensus on Javonte, but Van Jefferson. Appreciate the streams. I appreciate you. Appreciate you popping in. Happy people enjoy it. That's all I really need. I'll take some more quarterback value with Drake May, pair him up with Henderson. That's fun. Don't know why I don't do that and just be done at quarterback. I can be 2 quarterback, 2 tight end. That's fun. Definitely not taking another quarterback with that kind of capital. And with Trey McBride, I'm only taking 2. So that's really fun. I like our start at both wide receiver and running back. Fun drafts tonight. These could be 2 really fun drafts that I really like the teams. Like the first one, and this one's shaping up to be a fun one. So we'll see. We'll see where this goes. Huh. Judkins, I don't like. I was just looking at the Puka Nacua at 6 here for Bash Barty. Very good drafter. Very, very good drafter. Burden paired up with Williams. Interesting. I don't like Judkins at all. I'm never, ever drafting Quinshon Judkins unless PPR Tyler bullies me into it one time. One click because I got bullied into it. Wow. Do I just take DK Metcalf here? I have one click, period. If I don't take him at 15 picks a discount at DK, I'm never taking DK Metcalf. So let's say DK Metcalf here. If I don't click him there, I'm never clicking him. and I've clicked them twice. So let's click DK Metcalf. Gotta figure he's worth it there. Team is deader than Disco. Well, I got news for you, Jeff T. Disco ain't dead, brother. I got news for you. All right, let's get back to this. Didn't think Disco was going to come up in this draft tonight. Pick 103, 2231. Definitely not going tight end, even if Pitts is there. Either one wide receiver or running back is fine. I'm not taking a quarterback. Not happening. I'm not taking Laporta. Doesn't make sense with McBride. Corum's fine. I think QJ's very overpriced here. Dobbs is fine. That could be fun with Drake May, though there is some concern of AJ Brown coming in and stealing all the thunder. So I don't think that click exactly makes sense when I have 12% already Dobbs, and I already have May paired with Henderson. I just don't need it. Corum, Pollard. I think there's a lot of meat on the bone with Xavier Worthy. I really do. If what I just said in the previous draft about Tyquan Thornton reigns true, then it's even truer for Xavier Worthy. I just think there's a lot of meat on that bone, and I want to take a bite. 25% Xavier Worthy basically feels fine at this price, especially the build like this. Quarterbacks are flying off the board now. 5 spot really needed that Minnesota stack. Yeah. Addison, Murray, and Jefferson. It's got the Colston Loveland bring back week 17. Could be. Oh, and then little Green Bay bring back. Should have went Kraft. Where was Kraft? Right there. Well, I had to take Kyler. Oh, he couldn't have. Addison, Kyler. There's no way Kraft's going to 101. And you're not pulling him up to 68. Fair enough. Hate to see it. We are going to go. I still think Johnston is mispriced here a little bit. A little bit. Though I might take him if Pollard goes. If Pollard goes, then I might take him. Or do I just take Gadsden? If I don't take QJ here, when am I taking him? I'm just going to take Mason, actually. Let's do that. I really don't need Quentin Johnston on this team. I really do not need him. I could use Mason more than Quentin Johnston. And Bash Barty's happy with that, with Justin Herbert on his team. Don't think he needed 3 quarterbacks here. With Puka, I suppose I get it, but I just don't think it's necessary at all. Yeah. DK falling like that, wow, could be still the draft. Yeah, if I'm not clicking him there, like that's only the second time I've clicked DK Metcalf. I just think he's too much of a wild card, and I think that Pittman is honestly just in a vacuum a better click in a vacuum. Period, better click. But with cost considered, he's just a head and shoulders much better click than DK Metcalf. But yeah, if I'm not taking him 15 picks past ADP, when am I ever clicking DK Metcalf? So let's get a share there where it makes sense. You know? I would have loved to have gotten Pollard here over Mason. That would have been really fun. Xavier Worthy is a great pick as long as you can teach him how to not run into his own teammates. True that. Hopefully he can stay on the field this year. He was looking good on one play or something like that, and then the preseason he looked really good. But yeah, it is what it is, man. That'll happen to a guy. Could take Rashad White to pair up with Jaden Daniels, though I'm not sure that's necessary. I'm not sure that's necessary personally. Coker would have been a quality click for me. I just can't get behind Shakir. You know exactly what he is. I think I might take a Denzel Boston. Let's pull up McMillan. No, let's do Boston. No. I don't want McMillan with Bucky. Hey, we get Boston. Should have been Higgins maybe, but I haven't clicked Denzel Boston for quite a while, and he's falling. Let's go that route. I wanted a wide receiver there for sure. And maybe Higgins with the correct click. I don't think Jennings I need any more of until he signs. And maybe he doesn't sign until after the draft, which I don't think would be a good thing for anyone that's, as heavily invested to Jennings as I am. McMillan is fine with Bucky. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think it's necessary. I don't really need it in my life. Do I take Jonah Coleman? I'm only taking him when he falls. I was going to take Chris Rodriguez, so shout out chat. Come on, baby, turn the lights off. I was going to take Chris Rodriguez in the 12th. That's a big reason why I wanted a wide receiver here, was to take Chris Rodriguez. But he's gone. And that's how life goes sometimes. It'll definitely be one of these rookies, Coleman or Mike Washington. 100% one of these two. That was kind of my backup plan, was Mike Washington. I didn't think Coleman would still be there. So do I just take Coleman a round past ADP? I have less exposure. Or do I think Mike Washington is a better click at the end of the day? Let's do Coleman. Let's have some fun. Let's do Mike Washington. I think he's just a much more fun click than Coleman. Five-spot reach at ADP on all those Minnesota players. Yeah, can't get behind that. I get it, but I just really don't like Kyler Murray at all. I do not think he's a good fit for that offense. I do not think that Kyler Murray can run Kevin O'Connell's offense. I just don't. I just do not think that. So yeah. I'm lower on Kyler than pretty much anybody out there, which makes me lower on Addison and Jefferson, though I was drafting a lot of Jefferson early. I don't think this helps his price tag personally. I think this hurts his price. So I have enough of Jefferson because I was taking him a lot. But yeah, I don't think it's necessary to take him as he's rising. I'm good on that. I was taking him in the second round. 10 is where I had him ranked for the longest time. And then in the second round, I was taking him a bunch. I have a bunch of Lamb Jeffersons, which is nice. But St. Brown Jefferson, that sort of thing. But yeah, as he's rising, it's just not for me. That's just not for me. Coleman reminds me of Caleb Johnson. Coleman reminds me of Clyde Edwards-Helaire quite a bit. But I could see that, I suppose. We agree on Kyler Jefferson as in the first is a fade for me. I mean, like I just said, I was drafting him in the first, but like I'll get to it. Is for a very specific reason why I was drafting him in the first. It's just too hard not to click Mark Andrews here and feel just so good about it. Let's just go Mark Andrews. It's hard to not just click him and feel phenomenal about your tight end room with Trey McBride or Bowers and Mark Andrews. Let's get rid of tight end. We're not taking another one. Yeah, so when he was ranked at like 16, 14, whatever it was, I had him ranked at 10 because you could get all of these running backs down here. You could get Genty, Cook, Hampton, Love, HN, Barkley, Derrick Henry if you want. You could get them all in the early second round. So I was just taking the next wide receiver that I liked, which was, Jefferson. And then one of these wide or running backs are going to be there. One of them will be there every time, and they were. So I was taking him in the first round, but treating it almost like it's like 2 second-round picks, if that makes sense, or 2 first-round picks, I guess, is more where I'm going with that. That's kind of how I was treating it. It's 2 first-round picks in my head / rankings was kind of how I was looking at that. Because I don't think there's much of a difference between, we're going to take Keaton Mitchell here for sure. Yeah, absolutely taking Keaton Mitchell here. That feels good. There's not much of a difference between all of these running backs. Genty, Cook, Hampton, Love, HN, Barkley. You could throw Kenny Walker in there now that we know he's with KC. Henry, Chase Brown even could be in that conversation. Like, there's not a huge difference, I don't think. I like them all, and I'm drafting them all. So there's not a huge difference. So give me, the Jefferson at 10, 11, 12, whatever, with any and all of these running backs, and I'll feel pretty good about it. So that's what I was doing. So I was taking him in the first round, though I wasn't treating him as a first round pick. Now that he's a first round pick, like, I'm not drafting him at 7. I'm not drafting him at 5. I'm not drafting him at 9. Like, Taylor moves up, Jefferson moves down. I'm taking Genty over him. And it's just, yeah, I mean, I guess you could put him at like the 1-2 turn. Anywhere on the 1-2 turn, sure. I'm not going to argue with you. I just don't want to be overly exposed to him at that price tag personally. Cousins reunion would have been best for Jefferson. I took Jefferson in the second a few times, been off since they signed Kyler. That's exactly where I've been. I thought that was a pretty reasonable possibility that Kirk Cousins would be back. And now that he's 100% not, it's pretty tough to click him, in my opinion. So I agree with you on that one for sure. Let's take Dylan Sampson. I think he's just by far the best value right here. After Sampson, it's like Katron Allen pretty much. So let's go Dylan Sampson here. And then I'm feeling pretty good about this running back room, though I am going to throw one more at it because I have free clicks essentially. So yeah. I think Bigsby is a quality click in this room. Katron's always a good click. Singleton's fine. I think Braylon Allen could make some sense in here. Though, yeah, I don't mind. Adonai Mitchell moves up the board, looks like. Well, maybe not. Not too much. I think he's overpriced. I think Michael Wilson's overpriced. I'm 0% Michael Wilson. 0%. I think he's very overpriced at in the mid 70s. Very, very, very overpriced. Where do you go in this one? 87. That's a good price. I'm okay with that. Getting a nice discount on him. But like, give me obviously Parker, give me BTJ, give me Pierce, give me Lemon, give me Tyson, give me Pearsall, give me Myers, give me Metcalf, give me Pittman, all over Wilson for sure. So I'm not clicking him where he's going. He's just way too mispriced for me. I think Christian Kirk makes some sense right now. That's definitely a quality click right here where we're at. Let's do that. Yeah, I just can't get behind his price. I really can't. The guy's never been healthy in his entire career until last year. I don't like that look for guys. He had a tough time in college, finally breaks out. Marvin Harrison Jr. I think takes a step forward at the demise or detriment of Michael Wilson. McBride's still McBride. I think they can run the ball a little bit better with Algier. So yeah, I think he's gonna have a hard time duplicating what he did last year. Um, if he can even stay healthy, we'll see. I just think he's mispriced, too expensive for me. First share yesterday didn't feel great. Yeah, he's just not for me personally. My favorite little board team has JT, JJ, Kenny Walker, and ETN. Won't take JJ in the first. Wow, that's pretty good value for sure on all of those guys. That's good value on everyone. I mean, JT, you probably got it like 7, 6, 7, 8, something like that, which isn't crazy value. But Justin Jefferson would have been a second round pick. Walker and ETN would have been third and fourth round picks, and they've all moved up. So that feels good to get that kind of value. Only thing Arizona hasn't had in a few years is an RB they trust when Connor is injured. I think they'll like what they have at Algier. I agree with that for sure. I'm very confident they'll be able to run the ball more and better. So, yeah, that's gonna. They're just not going to be getting their fucking asses kicked horribly every game where they have to throw the ball 50 times a game. So they're going to be able to not throw the ball 50 times a game, which is what it took for Michael Wilson to do what he did, essentially. Oh, back is killing me. This hockey, man, it's a tough game. Tough game on the back. We're going Jeremy Bernard, 17th round. You know what that means, Jeremy Bernard. Let's go. Always Jeremy Bernard. Got JT at 9. Nice. So that is a huge discount on all those guys. Good on you, including JT. I think people forget one reason Arizona passed so much was because Bam Knight was their starting running back. Yeah, they had no one. Even when they had DeMercado, like DeMercado stinks. Bam Knight stinks. Who was the other guy? Michael Carter. I liked Michael Carter coming out of college, but he's not it. He's not an NFL running back. But yeah, that's what they had. So with James Conner back, Algier, they could probably throw a draft pick at the running back room. I think they'll like what they can do running the ball a little bit better, a lot better, I should say, this year. Especially if they take a tackle in the first round, which I think is absolutely high priority for the Cardinals. Elijah Wilkinson is still their right tackle. That ain't it, man. Paris Johnson, yeah, I like Paris Johnson, but I think a right tackle is necessary. Isaac Seumalo comes in. That's good, but they could definitely use some work on the offensive line, and I think that's where they go. I really, really, really think that's where they go. Let's do Surratt. I like that. I want to be hovering around 10%, so let's do it. Let's do that. Yeah, definitely a tackle for the Cards for sure. I saw who get Neighbors in the third the other day. Damn, Neighbors in the third. I saw Neighbors go in the third as well. I might have even been on stream. in the last couple streams. I'm pretty sure we saw Neighbors go in the third. I don't think I've clicked Neighbors yet. I think I'm 0% Neighbors. I am 0% Neighbors. I think I should try to get some clicks in for sure. But I'm not taking them at the 1-2 turn. I'm just not. There's too many more question marks with the Giants. I like Neighbors a lot, though he's shown that it's been a little bit tough sledding, staying healthy for Neighbors, and then a pretty big injury last year, obviously. And then it's just the question marks with offensive coordinator. The head coach isn't exactly like an offensive guy. Well, he is definitely not an offensive guy, but that's a concern. And then the offensive guy he brings in is very concerning. Still a young quarterback, running game's a little undecided potentially, unless they draft Love. Scattaboo, catastrophic injury. They lose Wandale. Like, it's kind of, I don't know. There's just a lot of clicks that I would prefer over Neighbors personally. I assume Najee went. He's probably moving up the board. There he goes. And that's fine. I do want to get a couple more clicks of Claiborne. Now that he's like settled way down here. I think he's fine in the ninth. Anyone's fine in the 19th, 20th round, but I haven't clicked Claiborne because I don't particularly like him. But when I'm drafting 7 RBs and he's only my second rookie, yeah, I'll take some Claiborne. So let's do that. And then that feels even better, this running back room. That's pretty strong. We're going to take one more wide receiver. So, yeah. This is the perfect kind of running back room to take Damon Claiborne. So that's what we're going to do. And yeah, not that I'm like very purposefully like hard. There's some guys that's like, I will not draft this player. I will not draft James Conner. Right. I haven't drafted Evans and I probably won't. I haven't drafted Godwin and I probably won't. I will not draft Joe Mixon. Wouldn't never ever draft Joe Mixon. There's some other examples. Doesn't really matter. There's some players that I just will. Ray Rice. I will not draft Ray Rice at this price tag. So there's certain guys I just will not draft. That's not Malik Neighbors. He's not in that bucket. It just doesn't necessarily, like, I'm not picking him at 13. I'll tell you that. I'm taking all of these guys that already went before him, obviously, and then all the way up to London, essentially. So he's got to be basically like 23, which is 5 picks past ADP. Yes, he does fall sometimes, but he hasn't for me. So I haven't been able to pick up any shares like that. Let's do another Skylar Bell. I want to get that up closer to Ted Hurst. I'm still 11.5 Ted Hurst, which I like. That's fine. And I need to click him again soon. I've gotten away from it a little bit, but I want to get Skylar Bell back up to that 10% kind of range. And the 2 clicks tonight should do that. So that's what we're going to do to finish up this draft. I like this team. I love this structure. If I can do it, 2792, if I can pull that off, I love doing it. So here we are. We got Jane Daniels, Drake May. That's more than strong enough for me. So I'm happy to just stop at 2. Bucky Irving, Trevion Henderson, Jordan Mason, Mike Washington, Keaton Mitchell, Dylan Sampson, and Damon Claiborne. I think that can definitely play. Jackson Smith and Jigba, Tedero, McMillan, DK Metcalf, Xavier Worthy, Denzel Boston, Christian Kirk, Jeremy Bernard, Elijah Surratt, and Skylar Bell. I like that. All rookies that I like, even though everyone seems to hate Boston's guts right now, which I can understand why, but I still think he's quality. I like my top 4 with the discount on DK, so Kirk's got to be something, stay a little bit healthy one time. Trey McBride, Mark Andrews, that's strong. I like this team. This is a fun one. Couple fun drafts tonight. I like both the teams. Fun structures, and I like them. Not Mixon and Mixon, never. I haven't drafted Joe Mixon in like 3 years. I'm never ever drafting Joe Mixon. He's not good. He's never been good. So we can talk about that more another time. Can't get enough retired players. Give me all the disgusting old 78% Joe Flacco. No, you're not. No, you're not. I'm only taking Neighbors now because once good news comes out about him, likely being ready for camp, I can see him move him up in the first round. It just won't be in this tournament. So it doesn't particularly matter for this tournament. I'm not saying it's a bad click. I'm not like saying don't draft Neighbors at 13. I'm just saying I'm not doing it. Doesn't mean I'm right. So go ahead and draft Neighbors at 13 if you like him and you think he's going to move up at some point. But like the news and him moving up, whatever, whenever and however that happens, it won't affect this tournament because it'll be done in a month. So it won't affect this tournament. Again, I'm not saying he's a bad click at all. I'm not saying he's an undraftable bucket at all. I'm just saying I don't love his price. Even at ADP of 18, I think it's a little high, but I haven't had him fall into my lap. So we'll see how that goes. Again, just because I say something, I'm not defending it like I'm right and saying do what I say because I'm the genius and you should do what I say. That's not how this works on this channel. But I have firm takes, as I think most of you know, and hopefully that's what you come for. But again, doesn't make me right. How many stream drafts tonight? Just the 2. We're wrapping up. Just the 2 tonight. I got to be honest, I'm exhausted. Hockey didn't start till 10 p.m. last night. I didn't get home till midnight. I'm tuckered out, Panda Bear over here. And I got hockey again tomorrow night. Doesn't start till 11:15 p.m. start. Yuck. So yeah, tomorrow night, another game. But we'll be back Friday night. We'll be drafting again. Definitely getting our volume in, all that kind of stuff. We got a guest I've been trying to line up for a while, and it just hasn't worked out. I'll probably go on his channel. Fresh to this channel, hasn't been a guest before, but we're wrapping it up for tonight. And like I said, we will definitely be back Friday. I'm not skipping that one, that's for sure. So we'll see you then. Hit that like button on your way out if you don't mind. Like I was saying off the Schneid, if you're afraid to be wrong, you'll never be right. Hopefully tonight we're right. We win the big board. Have yourself